Hey guys and gals, this is Sonic Arrow with the Tier VIII Premium American Medium Tank, the T26E4 SuperPershing. It currently costs 7,200 gold, and even though this is classified as a medium tank, the extra armor on the front of the regular Pershing adds additional weight that the engine cannot keep up with. This thing only has a 500 horsepower engine. The regular Pershing at Tier VIII has a 560 horsepower engine for a stock engine. Upgraded, it gets a 700 plus horsepower engine, and it is considerably lighter than the SuperPershing. This thing will move, but at heavy tank speeds, so it will be difficult to flank your enemies. The front of the SuperPershing is so much better armored than the side. The best thing you can do is take up a position that heavy tanks would normally go. A narrow lane with plenty of cover from artillery is preferable. This is an updated SuperPershing video since the changes to the spaced armor, which in my opinion hasn't really changed anything to how it plays. At all. I don't think it changed anything. The armor is incredibly trollish, if we take a look here, capable of absorbing many shells. HE shell damage is minimized if you get hit from the front, and heat rounds often do 0 damage. They just get sucked up. The other rounds will do damage if they go through all the layers of armor, which means at range, the SuperPershing is incredibly difficult to damage. You can't really pick out the weak points, and even if you do hit the tank, you're most likely going to hit the most well-armored parts. If you take a look here in Tank Inspector, you do need quite a lot of penetration, especially the lower down into the middle you go. All this blue and purple stuff is spaced armor. So the lower plate, if the SuperPershing is looking directly at you, is pretty much capable of absorbing shells from Tier VIII heavy tanks. And the upper plate also very strong. And then there's that weak point, machine gun port, 76. That's that bit there. Also note, side here, quite difficult to penetrate. But the easiest parts are its cheeks, as you can see here, 160 for the cheeks. So you do have to know a little bit about how much penetration your rounds can do. But the most common target is the top of the turret. So this little strip of orange, it's about 105, and then off to the side a little bit more. Strip on the top, 140 to 130. This green bit on the turret roof is actually so thin, you can overmatch it with, well, this is a 120 millimeter round, but there you go, it's 37. You can overmatch it really easily, and artillery will love it. Other targets you probably hit when you're aiming at this general area is the commander's hatch, which is 120. So if we take a look, this this contraption here, which is kind of like a mechanical stabilizer for the cannon, because it's supposed to be much heavier. You can see it is attached to the gun mantlet. Does not exist in the model, it's just not there. Even if you fire at it, it just goes straight through and into the hatch behind it. Now the front, right here, the mantlet here, it's, even though it says equivalent of 211, something like that, it has to go through this plate of armor, then the gun mantlet, which is, I don't know if I can tell, but it's quite thick, and then into the tank. In close combat, you will have to be careful of your weak points, which is what I just showed you. The best bet you can do if you notice the enemy aiming for these points is to shake your turret. Let me see if I can. If you shake it around, just, you don't have to move your gun up and down, but if you shake the turret left and right, it does make it much harder for the enemy to hit your weak points. Obviously, if you're driving backwards and forwards, it also makes it that much harder. I have noticed that if you do bring your gun up when you're reloading, of course, and you don't mind having to re-aim, it doesn't have too much, not that long of an aim time. you can block some shots with your gun barrel, which is also slightly frustrating for the enemy player. When you're doing this, you'll have to watch out for the cheeks, so that's why you have to move backwards and forwards, and it will make it a lot harder to make the shots onto your weak points. The side armor, that is very thin. If you take a look at the side armor, it's about 76 on the top. Obviously the tracks do provide a little bit of spaced armor, but there are some gaps in it. In the back here is 51. Side of the turret, also not very strong, but the point is, if you are coming out at an angle, make sure it's not too much. Some people come out at this kind of angle, and even if you don't get tracked, which is I think 50-50 at this angle, your side armor is exposed and they can penetrate it quite easily, or at least the front part is anyway. And they might even be able to fire, even though there's a bit of modeling here. If you take a look at the actual collision model, you can see that they can fire through and actually hit your normal upper plate and bypassing your spaced armor. This here is obviously a lot thicker, but top part is thinner, 157 millimeters equivalent, so you will have to watch out for that when you go around a corner. Here I am on Mountain Pass, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how artillery works against the SuperPershing. I'm heading south, see if I can get around the lower left part of the map. Let's see if I can't deal some damage while absorbing a bunch of shots as well. This is of course a premium tank, so it does get preferential matchmaking. And it looks like we've got a few people going in there ready to scout it out. So let's wait, see what else pops up. There we go. And I did not give enough lead for that shot. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'm going to get any more shots. We've got an A44 and a T44 already around the corner that I wanted to go into, so that was really fast. Let's see if they can handle the ELC and the Type 59. It's going to be a little bit of a problem because, well, they're the only ones there. They are getting artillery support, however. A44 has gone down, and I'm not even close to getting into position to help them. So this is the speed of this medium tank. Now it is a little bit of a good thing that they went there. They spotted all the enemies that would show up, and they've actually stopped them from coming over to this position, or at least distracted them enough. We'll see how it goes from here on out. MX M445. Not sure where that guy is. It looks like well, he's dead now. But it looked like he was down below the Type 59. And look at that. Nobody here. The first person we see is the Type 59. We get a tracking shot in. And actually absorb a shot into the tracks. So that was nice. The cannon only has 170 millimeters penetration, but it does have APCR ammo, which has 200 plus, 216 perhaps. There was an artillery shot fired into me. There we go. Panther 2 is finally the first person to deal any real damage, and I seem to be getting into this IS's way quite a lot. So we'll take out the Nashorn, because it does have the same kind of cannon that the Panther 2 gets. And it looks like the side armor of the Panther 2 isn't that great either. T34-3 shows up, and I believe I hit the turret, which is why nothing happened. Oh, and of course, an AMX 5100 and an AMX 1375. That guy's gonna be annoying. I'm gonna back off. don't let him shoot you in the side, because as you can see, even though the 1375 has 144 millimeters penetration, capable of penetrating the side quite easily. So front facing the 1375, making it practically impossible for it to penetrate. Did manage to track the 1375 over there, and another shot in, and oh, T34-3, don't know what he shot at, but my tracks absorbed that shot as well. And this 1375 is probably has the worst crew available, because that was a really long tracking shot, or perhaps I hit the tracks a second time. And now it's just a T34-3 and 5100. T26E4 is somewhere there, but not capable of spotting him at the moment. IS-3 is helping out with a big shot into the 5100. And I just bounced. I suppose the front plate isn't that good of a target either. And here's the artillery, FV304. Soon to be rebalanced. But at this point you can see it fires incredibly fast, but still dealing only 65-89 damage. Did kill my driver, and is capable of tracking me. So he's more of an annoying pest at the moment. But as soon as I turn my tank, he's obviously to my right. As soon as I turn my tank and I get spotted again, there we go. There's the 5100, take him out. 124, as you can see, getting even more damage. Another shot. Unfortunately, that one goes low. I didn't aim that enough. And I don't know what that guy was shooting at. And that was an incredible ricochet. How did that... I don't even know how that happened. Alright, so I hit my tracks that time, 64 damage. He's being incredibly annoying, and there we go, that's the shot there, 212, right onto my engine deck, I believe. Thankfully I didn't get set on fire, and the IS-3 finally spots the FV304 and kills him. That guy was obviously doing his own spotting, but I could not spot him at all. And now, it's just the two remaining tanks left, T26E4 and a T34-3. We'll see if I can get there in time. It doesn't look like too many people are there, actually. The artillery was just taken out. And, of course, being an American tank, the gun depression isn't bad. You can use it to your advantage, but doing so will actually expose some of your weak points. You actually want them to shoot at your hull. In this tank, it's preferable to them shooting at your turret, which has a bit more weak points to it. And let's see, okay, so it's the IS-3 and the T-29 that are capturing the enemy base. I've got two light tanks here who don't want to get shot. Alright, well there goes the Chaffee. ELC AMX is... well, unfortunately we actually cap out, so there you go. The T-34 did get a final shot in, but I had managed to get a steel wall, first class mastery badge. 2,554 damage onto the enemy, 4 kills, 1,088 points of experience earned. 75,000 credits earned with a premium account, 46,000 non-premium, 18 shots fired, 16 hit, 14 penetrations. I received 17 hits, 10 of which penetrated, mostly from artillery, and 7 bounces, for a total damage blocked by armor of 1,710. And now here we are on Muravanka. I am platoon with Konzo, also in a T26E4 SuperPershing. We're going to head to the western side of the map. There is one artillery, the ever hateful or ever hated FV304 because of how fast it reloads. We'll see what happens during the rebalance. So there we go, the artillery actually gets spotted first or second. And climbing hills is not a strong suit of the SuperPershing. It's a stressed 500 horsepower engine, does not deal with it very well. It looks like many enemy tanks are heading towards the western side, so it was a good idea for us to head in this direction. Can I get any shots? Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't, but there is a T20 up there in the spotting position. Unfortunately for him, he's got so many tanks over here already that he doesn't actually need to go spot anything. I'm not sure what this T71 was thinking when he drove in front of me. I was actually aimed at the T20. If he didn't drive in front of me, I might have let him escape. So that was weird. Our IS-6 looks like he might need some help. STA-1, not a lot of damage. He actually gets some help from... It might be artillery, I'm not sure. But there we go. I got hit by the T20, I believe, for 249 damage. So that's a dangerous guy to look out for. Obviously knows what he's doing. This IS-6, though, hopefully he won't get shot by HE. But he does get taken out by an IS-3. Now, I'm kind of alone. I'm the only one who charged down here, attempting to save the IS-6. Let's track him. Unfortunately, he still has enough gun depression to fire at me, but I still bounce. Now, I'm actually trying to deal damage at the same time as tracking him, but not managing to do that. Unfortunately, Konzo gets taken out. He got shot from the side, I think. Or maybe he was in a difficult position. So this is where the trollish armor comes in. Here's one IS-3. They are platoon. Well, he is platoon with another IS-3. So I'm gonna have a little bit of trouble. This one's firing APCR already. I'm gonna switch to my APCR rounds, which actually has less penetration than the regular IS-3 round. I'm going to turn my armor in this direction. There we go. Absorbing AP and APCR ammunition. And also that Tiger 1. Not going to let him shoot me in the side anymore. So this is kind of weird. Okay, there we go. That shot went through. Fix the track. Unfortunately, the other guy tracks me once again. And look at that. Absorbing many shells. And now I'm getting some backup as I'm drawing the enemy out into the open for the IS. The T28 prototype hopefully can fire at him. Looks like he is. And one artillery shell landed near me. That was kind of bad. There is the Tiger 1. He's caused some damage. I'm going to switch back to regular rounds because Tiger 1 does not necessitate firing APCR. I'm gonna lose money if I do that. Okay. T20, Tiger 1, and an FV304 left. We'll see if I can get some shots in on that guy. Unfortunately, he stops. Nope, he's gonna keep moving. And I missed, unfortunately. Another shot, perhaps. And there we go. The accuracy isn't too bad on this cannon. But I survived 2 IS-3s, 1 firing regular AP rounds, which is probably enough, and the other firing APCR. And that was kind of like a thing where I didn't expect to survive. Unfortunately, we cap out in this one as well. But I did get an ace tanker, steel wall, Spartan, Confederate, 3,441 damage onto the enemy, 2 kills, 1,600 experience, with an additional 3,458 assistance damage, and I blocked 2,030 damage with my armor. So that's a lot of damage right there, given, assisted, and blocked. 22 shots fired, 21 hit, 19 penetrations. I did fire a lot of APCR, however, 85,000 credits earned with a premium count, non-premium 37,419. So the super pushing is pretty good. It does give you lots of credits, and well, firing premium rounds, as long as you don't fire a lot of them, doesn't bring you into the negatives. Thanks for watching. Please press that like button and leave some comments. I'll see you in future videos.